Okay, I believe I'm live now. Uh, I hope so. Uh, but let me see something here because I just got a message that I'm out of storage, but I don't know if that is for YouTube. So just a moment. Let me see if I'm going live here. All this technical stuff. I have been on the internet since 1999, and I still don't know what's going on. So hang on. What's going on? Well, it looks like I'm doing it. So what's going on? Well, it looks like I'm doing it. So okay. So let me get back. Okay. Hello, everybody. Jay Real here for Midday with Jay. Well, it's been about a week since I've done this. And so I thought, well, what the heck? Let me do one and just catch up with you guys. And I thought maybe I would talk about some, I've been in the 80s mood lately. So I've been watching 80s films and stuff like that. So, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But just to catch you up on me, not much going on over here. Of course, we're nearing Christmas time, but yeah, it'll just be, I'll just be here by myself. I'm not complaining. I feel healthy, and that's the important thing is that you feel good, physically healthy, and mentally I'm doing pretty good. A little bit lonely, but nothing terrible. So yeah, but I'm ready to get through the holidays and get that behind me, because everyone's all excited about Christmas and going to visit their family and having a Christmas dinner and exchanging gifts and stuff. And yeah, well, I won't be doing any of that, but I'm okay. um, and here lately, I've been doing. I've had for years just big piles of limbs and brush because I've had two trees that fell down this year with all the rain. I had and I had what 3, 4 trees cut down, and so I've had these huge limbs, two big piles of limbs, huge. I mean, it just seemed like this something would take months to do to get this done, and in a couple of days' time, I've stacked them up and burned them, and I've got the majority of it burned up. So shows what you can do if you put your mind to it. And that's what I've been doing. I burned a big pile today. I burned a big pile yesterday, and today it's in the mid 60s. I think it might even be in the lower 70s today, but it's gray and drizzly. A little bit of rain, but it's just little sprinkles, really. But it's gray. It's overcast. Yesterday was pretty and sunny, but today is gray and overcast. It's not cold, but it's kind of, like I say, it's not pretty outside. But I spend most of my time outside during the day, unless it's pouring down rain or freezing cold or something like that. I usually spend most of my time outside. But I'm here talking to you guys right now. Is there anybody here? I just see one person. So, and that one person may be me. So, but yeah, just catching up. Other than doing that, I then just doing exercise. I like to get exercise. I like to walk and do chin ups and things like that. I'm still doing quite a bit of that, and not working on my movie. I need to get the Eye of the Tiger back. Remember, was it Rocky 4? Rocky 3? Maybe Rocky 3. The Eye of the Tiger. I need to get the Eye of the Tiger back. because I need to get another laptop for editing. That's going to be about $600-700. That's financially, that would kind of hurt me right now. But also just need to get the eye of the tiger, to really focus on it. And I just haven't been doing that lately. I cast a couple of people in it. Hopefully, Parrish Randall, who was in my last film, and he's actually an actor that he gets paid to act. Does a lot of independent films in Texas and other places. He said he would take a part in the film. Hopefully, he's still going to do that. And I cast a girl in it. And hopefully, she's going to be in it. I need to cast another girl and a few more parts. But I just haven't been able to focus on it here lately. And so hopefully I'll do that for too long. And like I say, I'll have to invest in getting that laptop. Once again, if anyone wants to make a donation to my film, The List, yeah, I'll take donations. Yeah, so not working on a film right now. And just living day to day, it's, yeah. I see 3 now. Speak up. If you're here, speak up. And if you would like to join me live, let me know. And I can put the link here in the chat that you can click on that to join me here. You join me live, because I'd love to have someone here talking with me. I always like to have someone joining me in these live broadcasts. So, but yeah, it's Christmas time, and this is, what is today? The 13th. So we've got 12 days till Christmas. And I have very, very fond memories of Christmas and spending Christmas with the family and exchanging gifts and Mama cooking Christmas dinner and just everything. Yeah. So I have good memories, even though those times are pretty much gone for me, spending Christmas with family and stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to do that again someday. Because I have some family. I've got some family in close to Austin, and I hope to be able to visit them again someday and spend some time with them. But like I say, for the time being, I'm doing all right. Just getting day by day. I've got nice neighbors that help me out, like get to town to get groceries and things. So I'm not completely isolated. I do have people I talk to. But, like I say, my friend Barry passed away a few years ago. So I don't have someone to go see movies with and go out to eat with and things like that. I miss having that. But like I say, I'm doing okay. But yeah, if you're here, speak up, please, in the chat. Let me know you're here. Any questions or comments you might have, always speak up, and always say, anybody that wants to join me live, let me know, because I'm still looking for someone to join me live. Particularly during the evening show. I haven't done the evening show here for some time, and I want to start doing that again, but I want somebody to join me when I do it. Noah, who joined me through all the Rotten Tomatoes horror films, top horror films, what was it, 250 of them? We did 6 shows, I think. He's been having some health issues he's dealing with. I hope he'll be able to join me again someday, because he's great. He really has great insight, and the comments he has on films and stuff. I just thought he made a great partner, and hopefully he'll be able to join me again sometime. And I certainly hope he's doing well and doing better, and finding treatment for whatever he issues that he has. um, but yeah, it's like I say, it's December the 13th. Uh, I got the CBS News on right now, and everything's about Donald Trump. He's the man of the year for Time Magazine. It's the second time it's been uh, uh, the man of the year for Time Magazine, or the person of the year, I think, or something like that. They call it. They don't call it. They used to be man of the year, and now it's like person of the year or something like that. And he'll be our president once again. And like I say, I have hope that things are going to be good with him as our president again. That he's going to do good things for us, get our economy back on track, where things aren't so expensive. I went to the grocery store a couple of days ago with my neighbors, the Loves, and I got, I don't know, 4 or 5 bags of groceries. It wasn't much. It really wasn't. $70 for that. And it was just like, man, I remember when $70 would fill up 2 shopping carts. Growing up, going to Safeway with my mom and dad, going shopping. Man, $70 would fill up a cart, full to bursting. And now it's, maybe half a cart or something like that, even that much, $70. Ugh. So hopefully things will improve with that, with the economy. Eggs has always been a big deal, but people make a big fuss about how high eggs are. I haven't bought eggs in a few weeks. I bought a 12-pack. And I don't eat a whole lot of eggs, but I do, I bought a couple of off Temu, a microwave thing that makes like little omelets, microwave omelets. And I like it. It's quick to make and easy to make. So I always try to keep eggs in the house. So I don't know how much eggs are now, but that's something they always talk about is how high eggs are. But yeah, hopefully things will get better with the economy. And of course, I think a lot of the reason, a big reason why Trump was reelected was what he says he's going to do for border security. He's going to get people out of the country that shouldn't be here, the criminals and such, drug pushers. We'll see. I don't have really strong feelings about that, but we'll see if he does what he says he's going to do along those lines. But let's get off politics. And let's see. I'm seeing 5 people, so speak up if you're here. Speak up. Let me know you're here. Yeah, please join in the chat. Let me hear from you. And like I say, hopefully I'm live, but I went to the YouTube, and it looks like I'm live. Hang on one more thing. Let me check one more thing. Speak up. If you're seeing me, speak up. That way I'll know I'm live. So let me know you're here, please. But let me check my Gmail. Hang on one moment. It says here now live on your channel. Midday with Jay. And I've got Sean 9566 wanting to know when I'm doing another live stream. And I'm doing it right now, Sean 9566. So, yeah. I don't know if you're watching, but I'm doing it now. I think we got a comment. Hang on just a moment. And it's my sister. And I can't tell what that is, sis. Uh, I see I'm so nearsighted, sis. I don't know what the picture is, but nice to have you here. And Darren Burrows says, "What's up, Jay? Hope you're doing well." I am. Thank you, Darren. I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Like I say, little lonely, but nothing terrible. I'm not suicidal or anything. uh, I'm doing pretty well. And like I say, Darren or anybody that wants to join me live, just comment here and I'll put the link that you can click on to enter the studio and join me live. Because, like I say, we're going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about 80s, probably 80s comedies, because I found a list, IMDb list. I'm not going to go through the whole list. I'm going to skip around and just talk about some different movies. But here lately, I've been in an 80s mood, at least movie wise, because, you know, like I say, I'm 59. I was born in 65. So the 70s and 80s are when I grew up. That's when I developed and just developed as a person, you know, and developed my taste in movies, my taste in comedy, um, and music, the 70s and 80s. So a lot of the 80s movies I love, not just comedies, but horror films, but just all kinds of films. 80s were a big deal for me for entertainment wise, in music and just everything. Um, so I thought let's talk about the 80s a little bit. And any comments you have about anything from the 80s, movie wise, music wise, whatever. But I think I'll talk here in a little bit, talk about some 80s comedies. Because someone in Acres of Film or Acres of Movies or something like that, are you here? If you're here, comment. And I can put the link here if you want to join me. You said you've never done that before. You've never joined anyone, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll see when I put the link, you'll click on that, and it says Enter Studio. You click on Enter Studio, and point your phone in front of you, where like the camera, where we can see you. We can hear you, you know, but like to be able to see you too. But you just click Enter Studio, and that's, you know, I would see you there and add you to the live stream. But I don't know if you're here. Acres of Film, Acres of Movies. You made several. You made some really good suggestions on topics, including the '80s comedies. So would enjoy talking to you. And let's see. But yeah, I got Darren Burrows and my sister Kathy. Um, but yeah, uh, speak up. Like I say, if you would be for joining me live, and I'll put the link here in the chat. You can just click on that to enter the studio and join me live. Um, but here, what have I watched? Being in an 80s mood, I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark last night. One of my all-time favorite films. Probably the best action adventure movie ever made for me is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones. um, I watched Midnight Express a few nights ago. Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin. Great, funny movie. A lot of great action in that film. Midnight Express. Um, I watched Fright Night, which is a great vampire film from the 80s. Um, you have to have faith for that to work, Mr. Vincent. But yeah, Fright Night. And I watched the remake of Fright Night. I had never seen it. And I think that was also on the Amazon channel. And I watched it, and I really enjoyed that. I was surprised how much I enjoyed the remake of Fright Night. It was pretty good. And what else? I got it written down. Hang on. Pardon me. Hang on. Razor Star. Die Hard. Die Hard. Yeah. And that's something to get you in the Christmas mood. A lot of people consider Die Hard to be a Christmas movie. To be a Christmas movie, and I guess I do too. Die Hard. The original Die Hard. With, of course, Bruce Willis, who's dealing with some terrible health issues. He's got something that's like dementia. I don't even know if he knows who he is right now. That's terrible. For someone like Bruce Willis to be going through that, I hate to hear that. But great performances, great films. Gosh, Unbreakable. That's another one of my favorite films from him. But anyway, Die Hard. I watched Die Hard a few nights ago. A classic, great, and like I said, it gets you in the Christmas spirit, a great action film and everything about it. Okay. But, so yeah, 80s. I've been in an 80s mood. I may watch something tonight. I think I'm seeing 7 people here. So once again, speak up. Let me know you're here. And let me know if you want to join me live. And as I always say, please give us a thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up button. That helps folks see the channel, see the shows. And if you like what you're seeing, if you would kind of spread the word, let other people know about it, get other people to join the channel and watch the shows. And hopefully I'll start doing more shows here soon. But I really want someone to join me. So, yeah, if you think you would want to do that, to join me, comment here. Particularly like I said, the show I would do at night. Well, I haven't done one of those in a while, but I want to start doing that again. Usually we're around 8 Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. It's usually when I start an evening show. And got some good topics for that. That we could, mainly movies, talking about movies, but yeah. But hang on just a minute and let me pull up I've got it saved back here. Hopefully it's here. Okay. And this is the IMDb's 100 greatest 80s comedies. And like I say, I'm certainly not going to go through the whole list. I'm really just going to just skip around. But yeah, it kind of puts you in the mood for 80s. If you're in the mood for 80s, anything from the 80s. But I'll tell you, in skipping around, and here's my favorite comedy. Not only my favorite 80s comedy, my favorite comedy, period. And this is number 87 on the list, but I would put it number 1. And that is Raising Arizona. The Coen brothers directed. Nicolas Cage, Holly Hunter, John Goodman, William Forsythe. You can look it up on the Dead Pit channel, Dead Pit YouTube channel. I interviewed William Forsythe. My sister did the camera. And him and John Goodman in Raising Arizona are just two of the funniest duos in a film to me. And I just think that movie is just, to me, it's the funniest thing there is. In Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter. But anyway, what it says here, when a childless couple, an ex-con and an ex-cop, decide to help themselves to one of another family's quintuplets, their lives become more complicated than they anticipated. Yeah. Oh gosh, it's just funny. Turn to the right, and well, everything about that movie is just, to me, it's the top of comedy. I'll be taking these Huggies and whatever cash you got, and yeah. Raising Arizona. So yeah, that's my favorite 80s comedy. It's my favorite comedy. But yeah. Um, and I'm skipping around like I'm in the 80s here, but here, 86. Here's something I try to watch every year, uh, but I don't know if it's streaming because I'm watching things streaming right now. Because, like I say, I've got this TV that the input part of it is broke, but all the streaming stuff works. And I've got a brand new TV I've had like over 6 months. It's still in the box. A TCL 55-inch 4K TV. I know that's crazy. I should hook it up, but I just having to go through all the getting it all set up and putting all the passwords for all the stuff. Uh, so I just watch the streaming stuff. So hopefully this movie is streaming, and that movie would be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And of course, Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, Juliette Lewis, um, Jeremiah S. Chechik directed. I'm probably messing that up. The Griswolds' family plans for a big family Christmas predictably turns into a big disaster. But oh yeah, of course it's a classic, The Christmas Vacation. Um, you know, shitter's fool. um, and well, yeah, um, that's a classic and a great film to watch this time of year. Christmas Vacation. Um, and yeah. So let me skip around here. Here's one that I really like, and I don't hear anyone talk about it. But anyway, oh yeah, and it's 1989 is Vacation, and 1987 is Raising Arizona. So, uh, but yeah, this one I don't hear anyone talk about this, but I always have really liked Dragnet. Uh, uh, you know, of course, Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks, Christopher Plummer, Tom Mankiewicz directed. An equally straight laced and by the book nephew of Joe Friday must work with his more laid back partner to solve a mystery. But yeah, Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks in Dragnet, which is, if you watch the old TV show, which I did, I used to watch it with my parents, the old Dragnet show, the real straight laced Joe Friday, could talk in a monotone, just the facts, ma'am. Well, Dan Aykroyd doing his version of that character is just, to me, I think is hilarious. Um, I love it. I love his characterization of Joe Friday, Dan Aykroyd. But yeah, Dragnet, 1987. Okay, skipping around here. But anyway, speak up. Like I say, need some more people to speak up here. I'm seeing 6, so speak up. Let me know you're here. And someone joined me. I, I'm I try to get through these shows by myself, but I would much prefer having somebody with me, talking with me. So, but okay, skipping around here. Let's see. Crocodile Dundee, Three Amigos, Good Morning Vietnam, Princess Bride. Of course, Rob Reiner directed. Uh, The Breakfast Club. Yeah, that one is kind of signature 80s teen 80s teen comedy. Um, it's you watch that movie and you're sort of plunged into the 80s. The Breakfast Club. Of course, John Hughes directed. Emilio Estevez, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, and others, of course. Um, but yeah, 5 high school students meet in Saturday detention and discover how they have a great deal more in common than they thought.
Here's the latest from the KWTX First Alert Weather Team.
Oh, hush. The Breakfast Club. So yeah, the classic 80s comedy. And then and then right above that, another John Hughes film, 16 Candles, Molly Ringwald, Anthony Michael Hall, and of course Anthony Michael Hall's in The Breakfast Club too. A girl's sweet 16th birthday is anything but special. Her family forgets about it, and she suffers from every embarrassment possible. And of course, Molly Ringwald, which was, of course, she's in The Breakfast Club, and yeah, 16 Candles. Um, but yeah, let's see. Uncle Buck. Oh God, John Candy. Anything with John Candy. I watch the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I watch that every Thanksgiving. I watch it this Thanksgiving. Of course, him and Steve Martin. John, man, I miss John Candy. I used to watch the old SCTV show with him. And anything with John Candy, I just love. I one of the funniest people ever on screen. And he would do something like smaller roles, and like in Tootsie. No, was he in Tootsie? I don't know. Splash. I don't know if he was in Tootsie, but Splash. Uh, 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 yeah, a lot of films he did smaller roles in. And but he was always funny. He always stole the show. And then Uncle Buck, laid back, commitment phobe Buck babysits his brother's rebellious teenage daughter and her cute younger brother and sister. And there's Macaulay Culkin again, and of course John Candy, and John Hughes. There's go John Hughes again. Um, okay, Turner and Hooch, Ghostbusters 2. Ah, I never was crazy about Ghostbusters 2. There's a few moments in it I like, but the first one, of course, is one of the best 80s films, period. But yeah. Major League, The Burbs, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Back to the Future 2, Caddyshack 2, Twins, Naked Gun for the Files of Police Squad, David Zucker and Leslie Nielsen is Detective Frank Drebin. Incompetent police detective Frank Drebin must foil an attempt to assassinate Queen Elizabeth II. And O.J. Simpson was in it, and Priscilla Presley, who I thought was really good. Priscilla Presley in those films. Okay, and but yeah, there's Midnight Run. Martin Brest, you got Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin, Yaphet Kotto. A bounty hunter pursues a former mafia accountant. Oh gosh, I think it's an Amber Alert. One moment. Goodness. I think that's what that was. Amber Alert. But anyway, yeah, no, I won't go through that again. But yeah, Midnight Run, License to Drive, The Great Outdoors, and Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. John Candy again. Great Outdoors. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Coming to America, of course, Eddie Murphy, and John Landis directed. Coming to America. Big, of course, with Tom Hanks. Penny Marshall, who was from Laverne and Shirley, but she directed a lot of films, and she directed Big with Tom Hanks. No. Yeah, Big. With Tom Hanks, yeah. Beetlejuice. I haven't seen Beetlejuice. But of course Tim Burton, Beetlejuice, and Michael Keaton, of course, Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis. And I'm not naming the years here, but Big is 88, Beetlejuice is 88, 3 Men and a Baby, Summer School, Spaceballs, Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise. Here's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, 1987. A Chicago advertising man must struggle to travel home from New York for Thanksgiving with the lovable oaf of a shower curtain ring salesman and his only companion. As his only companion. Of course, John Hughes directed, Steve Martin, John Candy, the great John Candy. Ernest Goes to Camp, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Adventures in Babysitting, Short Circuit, Ruthless People, Police Academy 3, Back in Training, One Crazy Summer, Money Pit, Gung Ho, Golden Child. The Golden Child was the last movie to show at Mahia Theater. Yeah, The Golden Child. That was the last movie to show at the Mahia Theater, where I was a projectionist for 3 or 4 years. And The Golden Child. I wasn't there to see The Golden Child when it aired, but that was the last movie to show at Mahia Theater. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay. John Hughes again. Matthew Broderick. A brash, cocky high school senior, tired of skipping school to spend a boring day at home, is determined to enjoy an epic day roaring around his favorite Chicago sights, enlisting his best friend and girlfriend to join him on the adventure. Oh, yeah. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And once again, John Hughes. John Hughes directed a lot of great 80s comedies, and a lot of them dealt with teenagers, school-age kids, teenagers, high school kids. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield, that's another one. To help his discouraged son get through college, a fun-loving and an obnoxious rich businessman decides to enter the school as a student himself. Yeah, that's a great one. Back to School. And that's 86. Armed and Dangerous, another John Candy movie. Weird Science, John Hughes again, with Anthony Michael Hall. Two high school nerds use a computer program to literally create the perfect woman who promptly turns their lives upside down. Yeah. Here we go with John Candy again in Summer Rental. Carl Reiner directed. And Police Academy 2, their first assignment. National Lampoon's European Vacation. A lot of people love The Goonies. I like The Goonies. I don't know if I love The Goonies, but I like The Goonies. Blair Hathaway says, Jay! Hey, Blair. Hey, Blair, do you... And like I say, anyone that wants to join me live here, let me know. Just make a comment here, and I will put the link here where you can join me live. But hey, Blair, how you doing? Fletch. Of course, Chevy Chase is Fletch. That's 85. The Goonies is 85. And Goonies is Sean Astin, Josh Brolin, Jeff Cohen. What was it? The short round kid. What was his name? Richard Donner directed. Michael Ritchie directed Fletch. Moving Violations. Better Off Dead. I don't know if I've seen that. I might have seen that. But Better Off Dead. And, of course, Back to the Future. That's number 22 here. 1985. Robert Zemeckis directed. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson. Marty McFly, a 17-year-old high school student, is accidentally sent 30 years into the past in a time-traveling DeLorean invented by his close friend, the maverick scientist Doc Brown. Of course, Christopher Lloyd is Doc, and Michael J. Fox. Yeah, Back to the Future. All three of those movies are fun. The first one's the best, but yeah, Back to the Future. That's 1985. And, of course, Revenge of the Nerds, 1984, the year I graduated. Robert Carradine, Anthony Edwards, Timothy Busfield. Yeah. Yeah. Revenge of the Nerds. That's a great one. Yeah. Police Academy. Yeah. A lot of fun, Police Academy. Steve Guttenberg. Yeah. And, of course, Ghostbusters. One of the greatest comedies ever made. One of the greatest performances of Bill Murray in that film. They utilized Bill Murray perfectly in that film. He's this guy that is scientist, kind of, and he's surrounded by ghosts and he's surrounded by all this supernatural stuff, but he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. He treats everything like it's a joke, even though there's ghosts all around him and there's all this supernatural stuff all around him. He treats everything like it's like a joke, And I love Bill Murray in Ghostbusters. And he's just cast perfectly in that. But of course, it's Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver. Great film. A classic, of course. But yeah, Ghostbusters. Cannonball Run 2. Of course, Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise. It's, I don't know. It's kind of like this movie. It's kind of like it's a mad world, things like that, where it's people going on a chase, or they're on the cars, and they're chasing after a treasure or something. And it's just all these physical jokes, and you have just pretty much everybody in the world was in those films, in small parts. Cannonball Run. They're silly, though. Even back in the day, I thought they were silly. I had some fun with them, but I didn't think they were great. But Cannonball Run 2, of course, Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy. Martin Brest directed. Judge Reinhold, John Ashton. Bachelor Party, Tom Hanks. Yeah, early comedy with Tom Hanks, Bachelor Party. Trading Places. Oh, yeah. John Landis with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. Loved the Trading Places. 1983. National Lampoon's Vacation. I showed that when I was a projectionist at Bahia Theater. I remember showing Vacation. And Harold Ramis directed. John Hughes wrote it, I believe. But Harold Ramis directed, of course, Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo. Mr. Mom, Michael Keaton. Yep, that's a fun one. 1983. Christmas Story. And of course, that's a classic. And that was the one, I don't know if they still do, but where it was, I don't know, it was at TBS or something like that, would just run Christmas Story like 24 hours a day during Christmas time, that. And of course, Bob Clark directed. Peter Billingsley, Melinda Dillon, Darren McGavin. It's a major award. The leg lamp and all that. Christmas Story, and it takes place during the 40s, with Peter Billingsley wanting it's a BB gun. In the 1940s, a young boy named Ralphie Parker attempts to convince his parents, teacher, and Santa Claus that a Red Ryder Range 200-shot BB gun really is the perfect Christmas gift. Yeah. But yeah, great film. Pretty much you watch that every Christmas. You watch Christmas Story. The Toy. This is Richard Donner directed. Of course, it's Richard Pryor, Jackie Gleason, Ned Beatty. And it's basically about a kid with a pet black man, which is certainly not a movie that would be made these days. I mean, how offensive can you get? It's about a kid with a pet. Basically, the toy is Richard Pryor being this kid's toy, basically. Yeah. If it's funny, it's fun. It's like I say, it's pretty offensive, just the concept of it. But yeah. And of course, Richard Pryor. I watched Live on the Sunset Strip. Was it a couple of nights ago? I watched that concert, Richard Pryor concert. But the toy. And the last 10 are Airplane 2, the sequel. The first one's a classic, Airplane. That humor, that Zucker Brothers humor, Airplane. But Airplane 2, I think, is just okay. 48 Hours, Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. Walter Hill directed. Great comedy, great action film. 48 Hours. Easy Money. Here's Rodney Dangerfield. A great film. Fun, very funny. Easy Money. Stripes. Ivan Reitman directed. Bill Murray, John Candy, once again, John Candy, a great role for him. Harold Ramis. Two friends who are dissatisfied with their jobs decide to join the army for a bit of fun. So yeah, Stripes, that's a great one. PJ Souls is in it. I met her a few times. Great at conventions, PJ Souls. Cannonball Run, yeah, like I say, I spoke about the Cannonball Run. Burt Reynolds, Roger Moore, Farrah Fawcett, and pretty much everybody was in those Cannonball Run movies. Um, Smokey and the Bandit Part 2. Burt Reynolds, and of course Jackie Gleason. Jackie Gleason made those movies for me, the Smokey and the Bandit movies, and Jerry Reed. But yeah, uh, it was Jackie Gleason for me that made the Cannonball Run movies. A lot of people would say it was Burt Reynolds, you know, but yeah, for me it was Jackie Gleason. He made those classics. 9 to 5 is another great one. Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Dolly Parton. Yeah, that's a great one. 9 to 5. 1980. Caddyshack. Harold Ramis again directed. Chevy Chase, Rodney Dangerfield, Bill Murray. Bill Murray chasing that little gopher, that little puppet gopher, is hilarious. But yeah, that's a great one. Caddyshack. The Blues Brothers. Oh man, I have spoken about this before. That, of course, I grew up watching the original Saturday Night Live cast, with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi and Lorraine Newman and Gilda Radner, Garrett Morris. And when they appeared as the Blues Brothers, I was just blown away that, with John Belushi singing and Dan Aykroyd playing the harmonica. He could really play that thing too. He was a great musician on that harmonica. And just the idea of these two comedians from Saturday Night Live playing musicians, playing fictional characters, Jake and Elwood Blues. And so when the movie came out, I couldn't wait to see it. And of course, John Landis directed, and it's got a lot of great, singers in it. Ray Charles, Cab Calloway, a lot of great musical artists, classic musical artists, great music, and that police car chase at the end is just amazing. The whole chase through the shopping mall is a lot of fun and just a great set piece. But yeah, the Blues Brothers. And for IMDb, number 1 is Airplane. I don't know if I'd put that number 1, but that's a great movie. It's a lot of fun and just that humor. And Leslie Nielsen, just who was a straight actor mainly until he did that. And of course, he's in Creepshow. But that character that he plays, Leslie Nielsen, and just the humor, the style of humor in Airplane is great and kind of groundbreaking in a way. Sort of established a certain type of humor. Very absurd. A lot of great visual jokes. And, Shirley, you can't be serious. I'm very serious. And don't call me Shirley or what. I don't know if that's an exact line or something like that. But anyway, that kind of humor. So, Airplane, number 1. So, well, yeah, I've got about 10 minutes till 1, so I'll try to hang in there until 1 o'clock. But let's get some more comments. I'm seeing 3 people here. So, yeah, if there's anything that you want to comment about, any question you want to ask me, certainly appreciate people watching. I don't know how entertaining I was today just going through these 80s films, but I wanted to do something, and talk to you guys. So, and like I say, please, if you would like to join me live on any upcoming shows, let me know. Comment here and let me know, because I really am looking for someone to join me, particularly during the evening show, because I want to start doing those shows again, but I don't want to do them by myself. did like watch-alongs, and like I say, I found another list, IMDb list, which is just the top 100 films. I'd like to talk about those and to talk about the films on those, and just any other ideas that you guys might have on subjects we could cover. But yeah. Please comment if you would be up to joining me live, because I'm really looking for someone to join me live on the midday show, but particularly during evening shows. Because, like I said, I haven't done those in a while. I want to start doing those again. And but trying to think anything else that's going on. Like I say, just been burning limbs and getting and cleaning up around my house, and particularly the front of my house. Cleaning, getting stuff cleaned up and burned, big limbs and stuff. Finally getting those things burned is just great. Feel like I'm accomplishing something, getting that done. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, just I watch movies, and like I say, watching 80s films. I watch some other kind of films too, but I've been watching a lot of 80s films lately during the evening. I spend most of the time outdoors during the day, but during the evening, try to watch something. And but okay, I guess I'll kind of wind this up. Once again, if you would give me a thumbs up here, please do that. Please spread the word, let other folks know about this show, and help me find someone to join me. I certainly hope Noah starts to feel better and is going to be able to join me again, because I think he was a great partner. I really would like to do more stuff with him. But yeah, please let me know if you would join me, because I'm looking for people to join me live. Mainly talking about movies, but I'm open to any subject. Music, collectibles, showing off your collectibles, things like that. Yeah, I'm open to any kind of subject, but we kind of have been focusing on movies and directors and things like that. And pop culture. I'm big on pop culture. So, but okay, I guess if we're not going to have any more comments tonight or today, it's going on 1:00 my time. I guess I'll wind this up, but I'll give a few more minutes. Anybody else want to speak up here and chime in? Hang on. Blair Hathaway says she always loves a J-Reel movie theater story. Of course, I told the one getting drunk and showing Return of the Jedi upside down. I told that story. And I don't know. I don't know really if I'll have to give some thought about another story I could tell, because it's really just in general, just going there. I think we started at 7 at night, if I'm remembering right, and going there, and you arrive at the theater, and then they had these real narrow steps, real narrow steps, small little narrow steps. And at the bottom of the steps would be the film reels. And they were these big cases that held the film reels. And so I'd pick those up, walk the narrow steps up to the projection booth. And then I had to check each reel to see if there was any broken film, because I would, when Mahia Theater would get a film, it'd been in theaters for a couple of months. We were pretty late getting movies, so the movies would be worn out. Some of them would be broken, and if there was any breaks, I'd have to splice them. They had a these two reels. You'd put the two reels on to rewind them, and also there'd be a little splicer thing that you could splice it together. If there was a film broken, you could splice it together and piece it back together. Um, so I would check the reels, and you would have to look, and the image would have to be upside down, because when it showed through the projector, it would go through the lens and it would be right side up, but it would have to be upside down. So I would check the reels to make sure that they were upside down, and that they didn't need rewinding, that they were at the beginning. And so I'd check each reel and get them ready, and then thread we had two projectors, old ancient projectors. I'd thread the projectors, get them ready for showtime. And yeah. But yeah, I look back on those times very fondly, because, not only getting to see movies for free, but just the experience of just showing movies to an audience, and seeing some bad movies, but seeing some great movies too during that time. And this would be, I think I started in 84, and I did it to, no, it might have been 83 I started. Anyway, and I graduated in 84, and then I started going to Navarra College in 85, or late 84, and going to Navarra College. But I would still occasionally work the theater. When I come stay on weekends, come home and stay on the weekends, something like that. I would still occasionally work at the theater and project movies. But yeah, I had good memories for that. Blair, I'll have to give some thought about any other stories I might could tell about working at the theater. And yes, that is where I saw Jaws for the first time. Sure is. 1975. Saw it with my friend Morgan McBride and my sister Kathy. I think Kathy drove us up there. And her friend, Kathy's friend. And I can't remember her name right now. But yeah, we all watched Jaws. Sat next to each other and watched Jaws. Packed theater. That's the first time I remember standing in a long line to see a movie, seeing Jaws. And it is my favorite movie. Jaws is. Yeah. That's the movie I've seen the most times. Yeah, there's better movies. There's more important movies. There's movies that are better directed, better acted, better everything. I know that. But that is my favorite movie. That is my comfort movie. That is a movie I could watch nearly every day. I probably watch Jaws 3 or 4 times a year. It is my favorite film. Like I say, there's greater films, there's more important films, but there's no movie that satisfies me as much as Jaws. Yeah, I find it to be the perfect movie for me. Just everything about it. It's funny, it's scary, it's exciting, it's dramatic, it's everything I would want in a movie, Jaws. And Blair says, I think Jaws is a near perfect movie. Dark Knight as well. Yes, I don't know if I call Dark Knight perfect, but I love Dark Knight. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Perfect movie. I can't think of a single scene or shot in Jaws that doesn't work. There's no extra scenes. There's nothing that I would trim or edit in Jaws. The music, John Williams' score, everything about it. That damn Indianapolis scene, one of the greatest scenes in movie history, that Indianapolis scene. I did a watch along for Jaws. Yeah, my favorite movie, Jaws. And 1975. But yeah, I saw it in Bahia Theater. I sure did. And we all stood up and cheered at the end when the shark was blown up. And I remember that so clearly. Everyone standing up and cheering, when the shark was blown up. And Blair says you should have a top 5 perfect movies list. Well, there's a good idea. Maybe a top 5 or a top 10, what I would consider perfect movies. There you go. That's a good idea, Blair. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good idea. I certainly will consider that. But I need someone to join me. Come on now. If you don't want to join me, find someone who does. And you can find me. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I am on Instagram, and it's Dawn Director J, and it's all lowercase. Dawn Director J, all one word. Um, and I don't know if you can find me just by J Real on Instagram. You may can. I don't know. Hang on. It's time to put together but yeah, or comment here that if you would want to join me or know someone that would want to join me for the live streams, because I really don't like to do these by myself. I'm doing it now by myself, but I much prefer having someone joining me on the live streams. And like I say, particularly for the evening stuff, because I want to start doing those again. I haven't done those in a while. I haven't done those since Noah. And hopefully Noah's going to be able to join me again. But whatever issues he's dealing with, I certainly hope he does better, takes care of himself, and he starts feeling better. But I sure hope he's able to join me again, Noah. But I guess so. I guess I'll wind this up. Blair, thanks so much for commenting. And heard from a sister. And Darren Burrows. Hey, Darren. But yeah, everyone, thanks for commenting. And like I say, please give us that thumbs up and help spread the word. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. Y'all have a good Friday. Go out and have fun and enjoy yourselves. And let's see. Blair says, I appreciate you, Jay. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Blair. I appreciate you too, ma'am. I sure do. But yeah, y'all, if I don't see y'all before Christmas, y'all have a Merry Christmas. And take care of yourselves. And just have, be good to one another. That's one thing I want to say. Be good to one another. Because, thinking about, like I say, with Donald Trump taking over again, there's some people that aren't happy about that. I won't say what I am about that. But that is simply what's going to happen. We're going to have him as our president again. So stay positive, hope for the best, and be good to one another. Be good to each other. Because all we have is each other. And we shouldn't be a divided nation. We should be together as a nation and supporting each other and helping each other. So be good to each other. That's an order. Okay, guys. Hope to talk to y'all soon. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.